All right, welcome back. So now we're gonna move on. We're gonna now start talking more about how the body influences the subconscious mind and the subconscious control process. So, like I said, for the next couple chapters, we're just gonna talk. We're mostly gonna be talking about how the body commands the subconscious, right? Because it's the second commander. So in this chapter, in this video, we're gonna talk about something I call primal emotions or primal frequencies. So basically, just to start, um, it's helpful to think of the body, your physical body, in a sense, has its own awareness, right? So just like you have awareness in your conscious mind, and you could be aware to a certain degree on the subconscious level, your body also has its own awareness. To be fair, I think awareness mainly just comes from your conscious mind, but to a degree, your subconscious has a different kind of awareness, which we'll talk about in chapter 8. Um, but um, but yeah, so the body has its own limited form of awareness, and your body also has a desire, right? It's just like the conscious mind. Your body has things it wants, and its main desire is survival of itself in the species. So when your body commands your subconscious, all it's really concerned about is surviving, right? You surviving and your species surviving. That's its primary goal, right? That changes, right? If you either have a certain kind of disease or you take drugs, things like that. We'll talk more about drugs in I think it's chapter 6, and how that impacts your body and how that ends up affecting your subconscious. But yeah, its main goal when all is working properly is just to survive, right? Now, because the awareness of your physical body is too limited, right? It relies on a conscious mind to make smart decisions to ensure survival. So the body can't analyze, it can't do certain things where it compels your subconscious to help the conscious mind to make certain decisions, like day in and day out, right? About, for example, getting up and going to work, like what to wear, you know what I mean? What job to have, to make money, things like that. Your body it doesn't have the intelligence to sort of make decisions like that, right? It can make decisions, smart decisions related to your body, related to what's going on in your body, like having to do with regulation of your body temperature, breathing, blood pressure, the acids in your blood versus bases, the minerals, all types of things. So it does have an intelligence which it uses, right? Now, some people might say, no, it has no intelligence, it's just random motion of materials. No, it's not, right? And the reason I believe that is something we'll talk about more in the supernatural portion of the book, and I believe you can prove it, right? So that's another thing. But for now, we'll just say that the body does have its own intelligence. It does. But again, it's just not, the type of intelligence it has, it can't be used for stuff that's relegated to the conscious mind, making smart decisions every day. So it relies on the conscious mind to make those decisions. So the same way, and this kind of really sets up kind of the idea of sometimes you'll hear the term like body, mind, and spirit, right? So for me, and I still believe in that, but for now, it's helpful to think of it as body, mind, and subconscious, right? Because it's almost like there's a trinity that makes up, who you are, right? And what you are. And the three integral parts of who and what you are the conscious, subconscious, and body. And they all work together to do. So before I said the conscious mind or the negative mind has to work with the positive mind to do what the positive mind can't, do what the negative mind can't. Anyway, I was saying that the one mind has to work with the other mind to do what the other mind cannot. So to give a more broader idea of that, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the body all have to work together to do what the other two cannot, right? So the body needs the conscious mind to make smart decisions. Now, where the kind of things go, I'm not going to say go south with it, but where things change is that the body cannot always leave it to chance, right? That the conscious mind is going to make smart decisions to ensure survival. So sometimes the subconscious will the subconscious will command the body. I wrote it a little differently, but sometimes sometimes the body will command the subconscious in a way that coerces the conscious mind to make certain decisions, right? So, in other words, the body will command the subconscious in a specific way that causes it to compel the conscious mind to make certain decisions. Now, remember what I said. The compulsions will create an urge in you, right? And compulsions carry with them a lot of information on different levels, different layers of perception, right? So a compulsion will carry with it an urge to do a certain thing, right? But it'll also carry with it certain beliefs, right? And that belief it'll change what's logical to you and affects what makes sense to you. And so sometimes the body will command the subconscious in a way that compels you, in a way that changes what makes sense to you. And that's meant to help you to make certain decisions, right? That ensure your survival. Now, so how does the body know when to do that? Well, the body is able to read the frequency of your subconscious and uses that information to know when to charge the subconscious to influence your decisions. So in other words, the subconscious, the body, it doesn't actually know what's going on in the outside world. Now, it has the information from the senses, but it can't make sense of that information, not in a logical way, right? It needs the conscious mind to do that. So it just sends that information to the conscious mind, and the conscious mind uses that information to make decisions, smart decisions about the world and the environment around it. But the awareness of the body, it still doesn't really know what's going on. It can't make sense of that information in a logical way. But it still knows when to do certain things, right? When to charge the subconscious to make a certain decision when you're in the real world. It knows that based on the frequency of your subconscious. So it has like a frequency meter, I like to think of it as. So when your subconscious switches to a certain frequency, your body will say, okay, this is what's happening, because he produced this intention, which caused the subconscious to switch to this frequency. That gives an idea of what's going on in the environment around it. And so when your body switches to certain frequencies, your subconscious responds by sending a command to your subconscious to switch to another frequency and to compel you in a way that impacts your decisions. So that's important. Now, so when does the body, what frequencies is the body looking at to know when to do it? And how does it compel you for each one of these frequencies? Well, that's what we're actually going to talk about in the next couple of videos. So the frequency, and just to make it clear here, the body has the ability to charge your subconscious. So the mind can charge the subconscious and the body can charge the subconscious. So it's not just commanding. The conscious mind can command the subconscious, and the conscious mind can command the subconscious, and so can the body. But the conscious mind can charge the subconscious, and so can the body. So they can both command it and charge it. So frequencies that are charged by the body that are meant to help you better survive are what I call primal emotions, right? I refer to them as emotions. Technically, they're frequencies because there are other things. When your subconscious switches to the frequency that your body told it to switch to, you still get all the other modes of thought expression. Now, don't call them transcendental in this case, because I like to think of transcendental as when those expressions, subconscious expressions of thought, are expressed by charges coming from the mind, not the body. And that'll make more sense when we talk about more about the negative and positive mind structure in the next chapter. So that's why I don't use the term transcendental in this case. But the mode of thought expression is still the same, right? So when a particular frequency is charged by the body, it's going to affect what you feel, your emotions. It's going to affect what you think of as logical. It's going to affect how you perceive things. And it'll even affect your creativity. The body is mostly concerned with intelligence. It doesn't care about creativity at all. But it's going to affect how your intellect, basically. But that's not a primal emotion. We'll talk more about that case in the next chapter. But your body doesn't really do it in the way that I'm referring to as primal emotions. Primal frequencies or primal emotions are ones that your body kind of does in the moment in response to the environment to help you make smart decisions to ensure your survival, right? And so you usually in these cases you'll feel some emotion very intensely. That's why I denote those frequencies by the term primal emotions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about the first primal emotion. There's not that many. There's just a couple that I feel that need to talk about. But the first one is kind of what I was talking about in the last video, and that's anxiety. So your body is responsible for charging anxiety, not the mind. So, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.